You're watching the MIAA Network 360 show. I'm your host, Bethany Bowman. In this week's edition, we'll take a look at the quarterfinal matchups of the MIAA Women's Soccer Championship starting tomorrow. But before we do, we head to Warrensburg, Missouri to talk to a student athlete from a family full of MIAA tradition and his journey of overcoming adversity. In Warrensburg, Missouri, the number 10 nationally ranked Central Missouri football team is 9-0 for the best start in program history.
It has been a fun season. Kids kind of start off the season being really focused and enthusiastic about the upcoming season, and they've played like it all year, and some of the young guys have been brought along by some of our older players, more experienced players, and have elevated their game, so it's been a fun season all the way around, see those kids develop.
Their leader behind center, senior quarterback Brook Bolles, has passed for over 2,900 yards and 32 touchdowns, with still 2 regular season games left to go.
Just, starting the season off 9-0, how fun has this year been for you so far?
I'd say it's probably the most fun I've had playing football my whole life. After coming back from last year, just these guys. I didn't really know a lot of the young guys start of the year because, you're a senior and got a lot of those guys that are, true freshmen, and then you come back and get to know them, and I mean, this is probably the best group of guys I've been around. They're a bunch of fun guys. They're goofy. They definitely make it fun, being out there. But yeah, football-wise, it's been the most fun I've had in a long time.
Bolles was a Harlan Hill finalist in 2017 after a stellar junior campaign, but in the first game last season in what should have been his senior year, Bolles was sidelined for the remainder of the year with an injury.
It was a bummer, it was like anyone else, any other team. We went into the season with a lot of high hopes and felt good about coming off of the bowl team that we had the year before, and we're playing well in that game. And then, everything changed in the first play of the third quarter. So,
what was your mindset like after that first game?
I'm not going to lie. It wasn't very good. I was kind of down on myself. Didn't really know what, was in store next. Didn't know if I was going to have surgery or not. Docs, before their first kind of take on it was I was going to be out 3 weeks. They thought it was just kind of minor. Then they came back and said I tore my UCL. Rehab took a while for me to actually get a positive mindset with it, but after that it definitely kind of just started rolling forward with it.
How did Bolles handle that year being injured?
Like the champ that he is, like most competitors, when it first happens, you're shocked and disappointed and kind of crushed in the moment, but it didn't take him long to bounce back and set his sights on rehabbing and playing his last year, coming back and having probably a season that he envisioned way back when he started rehabbing his elbow, and how determined he was going to be when he got back.
All the guys, all the coaches, they thought you were a really good teammate during that whole year, even though what you're going through.
Yeah, I tried to have a positive mindset for those guys, just because I didn't want them to see me down. Didn't want to see them or have them see me hurt. But I couldn't tell you how many times we got done with warm-ups and I just sat outside the locker room just in tears because I wanted to be out there so bad. Those guys, I came in with a lot of those guys. It was my senior class, so we kind of built a bond together, and it was so heartbreaking for me. It took a lot for me to kind of get back to the positive, bright side looking me. But when I did, it all fell kind of in place.
Media Day back in July. It seems like that was just the other day, but you said that you just wanted to win an MIAA championship this year.
To be honest, I'm just wanting an MIAA championship. That's obviously what we're going for. We're fighting for that.
And now that kind of looks like that's something that's really within reach. You guys are 9-0 heading into this week, and how fun has this been to really accomplish that?
It's a special season all around. There's been so many games that have been came down to the wire. You don't know how they're going to go one way or another, but this team's really optimistic. They really don't dwell on any of the negative. They just want to win. And at the end of the day, they know that as long as we just play our game, we're going to come out on top.
Bolles is looking to add to his family's list of MIAA championships. Two of his older brothers, Blake and Brady Bolles, were both decorated quarterbacks in the MIAA for the Bearcats of Northwest Missouri State.
Got to talk a little bit about the Bolles family quarterback tradition here in the MIAA. Blake and Brady both being Bearcats. What was it like growing up? Did your parents get you guys in quarterback training camp at age 2, or what's going on?
You know, it's actually kind of weird. My dad, you know, he's coached baseball all his life, but actually played receiver in high school. So he actually had a buddy that we kind of started out with. His name's Matt Reiling. Matt Reiling helped Blake out when he was at Southwest in high school, and then kind of worked with Brady a little bit and worked with me a few times. And then I think it was before my junior year of high school, I worked with a guy out in California. His name's Steve Calhoun, and he was a lot of help. Just kind of helped me with, you know, my grip on the ball, my mechanics a lot, and then we worked a lot on footwork. You know, we've always just, I feel like we've always had pretty good arms because of my dad. You know, he was a college baseball player and always had a really good arm, and so we kind of got that from him. But yeah, it was just, you know, we started out at a young age throwing. I actually played running back my first few years of football, and then just fell in love with the position of quarterback and kind of just stayed that way my whole life.
Who's the better athlete in the family? How do you and your brothers?
You know, we talk about it all the time, and we think that our little sister is actually the best of all the athletes. We all think that Bailey's probably the best athlete. And then our brother Brett, he was a really good baseball player too. We just think he was probably the most gifted of all the athletes.
Some of these games coming down to the wire, how are you guys pulling out these comebacks? I mean, talk about last week, 17 points in 2 minutes.
Yeah, like I said, we don't dwell on the negative. You know, I threw a pick there, and I think they went up by 10. I think they scored a touchdown to go up by 10 right after that. And, you know, I came back to the sideline and I was like, guys, look, that's on me. You know, obviously I made a bad read, threw a bad ball. But I said, we're going to come back here. There's no doubt. You know, and we never dwell on any of the negative. We're always positive, always looking for that next play. Coach Boda he's got a saying that I really enjoy. He says, you know, we're one play away from a beautiful day. And it's so true, especially with our offense. You never know when it's going to come. It could come down 4th and 7, and Shea Wyatt takes a 50-yard, you know, in route to the house. So you know, you never know. It could happen one play, or you know, it could be a compilation of plays like it was in last week's game. You know, Ubong blocks that kick there at the end, and if Dylan doesn't take it 15 or 20 more yards on the return, we don't have a chance at winning because we have to really heave it then. And you know, it's just a crazy outcome. But I love the fight in these guys.
Special teams, the defense, basically every game they've all come up big as well.
Oh, it's something special, you know. You know, defense has won some games for us, offense has won some games for us and came up in the clutch. And then special teams had their turn last week. So it was kind of cool just to see all 3 phases of our game kind of take place.
What are the main things that you as a program here at Central Missouri value the most?
You know, we talk about, you know, building leaders, creating leaders in the society and, you know, on and off the field. And, you know, we talk about also, you know, getting that education. Coach Boda, he loves having those guys here for 5 years, earning a degree and earning their spot on the team. And he says that, you know, that he feels as if a guy doesn't get his education and doesn't get his degree, then he says he failed as a coach. And I think that says a lot about the character that, you know, Coach Boda is as a person and the man that he is.
So 6 years here in Warrensburg, Missouri, a kid from Lincoln, Nebraska. What are you going to remember most when you leave here?
I think, you know, like I said, just the friendships and the bonds that I've created that'll be there for life. My relationship with Coach Boda and Coach McMiniman, I'm going to cherish those forever. I feel like they're always going to be lifetime friends and mentors of mine as well. I mean, I love every one of these guys on the team. If they ever need anything, they can always call me, and I feel the same about them. As if I need anything, I can always call them and rely on them. And, you know, people say it everywhere that we're a family, but we really are a family here. I mean, I'm going to cherish these, you know, friendships for life. You know, it's just a bond that's never going to get broken, and that's because of football here.
Senior quarterback gets hurt, fights his way back, and leads his team to the best start in program history.
you really couldn't script it any better.
But Bolles and the Mules aren't done yet, with their sights set on the NCAA playoffs.
It's just been a heck of a ride so far, and we're trying to keep this train rolling.
Central Missouri will play on Saturday in Warrensburg for at least a share of the MIAA championship. You can watch on the MIAA Network.com as well as all of the other MIAA matchups. Moving on to soccer, we'll take a look at the MIAA women's soccer quarterfinal matchups. Central Missouri earned the top seed for the 2019 championship. The regular season champion Jennies will host 8th-seeded Washburn on Friday, November 8th at 6 p.m. in Warrensburg, Missouri. The second seed went to Northeastern State. The Riverhawks will host Newman on Friday, November 8th at 6 p.m. in Tahlequah, Oklahoma. Emporia State secured the third seed and will play Northwest Missouri State. The Hornets and Bearcats are set for a 2 p.m. game in Emporia, Kansas on Friday, November 8th. The fourth seed was achieved by Central Oklahoma. The Broncos will host 5th seed Fort Hays State on Friday, November 8th at 7 p.m. in Edmond, Oklahoma. All quarterfinal matches will be available on the MIAA Network free to view. Winners of the quarterfinals on Friday, November 8th advance to the semifinal matches on Friday, November 15th. The site of the semifinal and championship matches will be played at the highest remaining seed after the quarterfinals. More information, complete schedule, and championship updates are available at the Women's Soccer Championship Central page. Thanks for watching this week's MIAA Network 360 show. Make sure you check out the MIAA.com for all things going on around the conference. And don't forget to always bring your A game.